Well, guys, sorry about the abrupt ending last time. The power went out, but yeah, as you can see, I made it to Mackinac. Also, I managed to get a warp spell drop, surprisingly. So I need to keep that in mind that one of these enemies do drop the warp spell. So why is this significant? Actually, it's not. But remember how last time I was mentioning that I'm gonna have to use Minwoo's teleport spell to get out of Pandemonium, or Reverse Pandemonium, as I like to call it, because I don't really know what the name of that place is. Actually, I do, but I've forgotten what the damn name of that place is. I need to start remembering this. Mackinac. Did I prepare? I don't think so. So anyway, let's just go and do a floor test. Let's just go and do a floor test over there. So right now Scott has the Flame Lance, Golden Shield, and the White Robe. White Robe status protection hasn't really come into effect in Jade because most of the encounters reverse Jade because most of the encounters were just physical attacks. So right now, I'm gonna try and see if I can get away with giving him the Giant's Helm and the Giant's Gloves. I think I've already said this before, but I think it would have been a better decision to get the Power Helmet and the Power Glove with Richard's corpse here. Anyway, so his evasion drops to 78%. Let's see if they can actually get away with this. The reason I think the Giant's helmet is really important is because it gives him plus 20 strength combined. So boosts his strength to 53, which means that even with a weapon whose accuracy is absolute 0, he will still have a base accuracy of 53%, an effective accuracy of 53%. So let's just do a floor test. Now, one of my viewers very helpfully commented that I actually cannot teleport out of Pandemonium, Reverse Pandemonium, which scares the crap out of me if I can't do that. What this means is that it's very much possible. It's very much possible that I might get into a soft lock situation. So obviously, so thanks to him, I'm going to take some precautions. But yeah, let's not get overly scared. A palace. This must be Pandemonium. Palace with a lot of hell. Unknown palace also, of course, it doesn't tell us the name right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna use... yeah, I think 2 slots are enough. So I'm gonna use file 2 as my base file, which was on the world map, and file 3 as the temp file. Let's just hang around here and see if we can deal with the enemies. First things we get is Little Murderers. 773, that should... Okay, wow, they have more than 700 HP? And I do believe these things... What the hell? That guy did 400 damage. And also got a pretty good drop, but definitely not as good as a White Robe. Did you see that? That guy took 3 turns by himself. He took 3 turns to kill. Sorry. Unfortunately, my cough is not completely gone. Hello, Matt. How you doing, man? How you doing? No back attack today? You almost managed to speak. Okay. I'll give you that one. How you doing, man? Just got back from work, I assume? Okay, so I was just going to say that let's not be paranoid about how difficult this place can be. Give me as soon as I forgot to bring on Discord. Well, I had a lot on my mind today, so yeah, mostly I was just wondering if my internet would cooperate this time, seeing as how I did not get a stream last time, and I desperately wanted to make some progress on FF2. Oh god. So yeah, I was just gonna say, let's not get paranoid and think that things are gonna be a lot more difficult than they actually are. But just that little murderer alone took 3 turns by himself. 225 damage, okay, manageable. But the thing is, look at how little damage we are doing. And I know for a fact that we can run into pretty large mobs here. They're also getting physical hits in, which means Scott's evasion is nowhere near what is actually required. We're not doing any damage, so that is the second concern. And we basically got the best weapon that money can buy right now. If one of these guys is... He's still not dead! Chimera Brain, Jesus Christ! This place is not screwing around. Just barely managed to survive that. Scott strength, stamina, and no HP. Mithril Mirror might come in handy. Yeah, it might come in handy. Wow. Even before I can say that, let's not assume that. Even before I can say, let's not assume that things are going to be really difficult. The game has already shown its flavor, and it's just a taste, because I know that we can get into an encounter with 4 Chimera Brains. Wow. So I think with that proof in hand, it's pretty reasonable to assume that we're gonna have to grind. And considering that I can't really teleport out of Reverse Pandemonium, I would rather just hang around the first floor. This has happened far sooner than I imagined. Okay. We do have the Blood Sword, of course. I don't even know where to start right now. Fact of the matter is that we need pretty much all stats. Well, by all stats I mean the important ones. Oh, look at this. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna survive this. Let's see if it's actually runnable. I guess not, but at 78% evasion you can't really control. I'm going to give it a couple tries at least. So yeah, this place is not screwing around, and I'm just glad that as soon as we entered Reverse Pandemonium, we were able to see that things are definitely not going to be smooth. So now we proceed to figuring out what exactly we need to do in order to proceed. And how we can achieve those goals. So we need, I think the first thing we need is physical evasion. Pretty obvious that at our current levels of physical evasion, it's just not going to cut it. Oh boy. I thought my situation had improved, but suddenly as soon as I start streaming, I start coughing more. Are you kidding me? Why do you have to make it difficult IRL as well as in-game? God damn it, give me a break. Just kidding. I'm looking for a challenge run in-game and also in life. Challenge is what makes you grow after all. Another thing that we absolutely need to focus on is HP, which I will explain shortly. So as we just saw with that particular encounter with the Chimera Brains, Scott is taking quite a significant amount of damage from that blaze attack, and that is just a trailer of things to come. Oh yeah, MP. We also need MP actually. MP is not too important. because I'm mostly going to be relying on physical hits. Remember that our key weapon is going to be the Wild Rose, which excuse me, which grants plus 99 to which caps out strength, and I believe for Scott it's intelligence that will boost his black magic and physical attacks, of course. Now black magic is only really effective when it hits weaknesses. So that's another exercise we need to do. We need to find out how many enemies have weaknesses. And if I remember from my very first playthrough of Soul of Rebirth, very few. Very few enemies have any weaknesses at all. So that's not a good sign. Which means, what exactly am I going to use black magic for? Maybe Berserk. Right. Our target right now is to grind evasion levels, which is why I made my way back to reverse Jade. Because not only do the enemies not hit as hard as they did in Pandemonium, they also have less HP, tolerable, and we can run into large groups. And I'm just going to abuse this particular exploit in order to gain HP. Because even though I always tell people that it's not required at all. You never need to go out of your way to grind HP. That is obviously not true in a challenge run. I always get frustrated when people the first thing that people say about Final Fantasy 2 is that well, you need to hit your own party members. I always get frustrated when people say that. The fallacy is not that hitting your party members doesn't work. It's that you don't need to do that in a casual run. I suppose everybody has their own different versions of need. I suppose maybe in a blind playthrough you would assume that you absolutely need to do that, but with all information in hand, the objective reality is you don't need to do that. The game will take care of it, provided you have the right setup. But yeah, that is quite a big provided. Where's the end? Where the hell is the end? There we go. But, and I'm going to sound like an absolute hypocrite here, which I am, I must admit. Hitting yourself is indeed hitting your own party members, or in a solo challenge run, just hitting yourself, is the most effective way of gaining HP and or stamina. So that's what I'm going to do. It's essentially a time save. I mean, I could go all in and try to, do it in the proper manner. But yeah, like I said, I've already justified my actions, whether you want to believe it or not. Hitting yourself is the best way to gain HP, and the reason we need to gain HP is because evasion will protect us against grinding. Evasion will protect us against physical attacks, but as I've mentioned many times before, there is just no answer to damage magic spells, exactly as was demonstrated by the chimeras with their blaze attack. Now you might think that per blaze 225 damage seemed like a lot. That is because it definitely is a lot of damage, and that is a huge disadvantage of that is an absolutely massive disadvantage of a solo challenge run in these FF2 remakes. It was not an issue in the NES version. There is this kill snapper. I don't think he'll get a hit in, right? 6 hits! Oh shit! Okay, never mind. So these guys have been reduced to irrelevancy. Those are great grinding spots. What we're gonna try and do is get one more level of evasion? Question mark? And then attempt reverse Pandemonium again. So what is going to be, the question now is, what is going to be our HP goal? Also, in order to grind evasion, I need 2 shields. Do I have 2 shields? I do have 2 shields. Okay. Evasion is still 4, right? Oh, yeah, it's still 4, but unfortunately, you don't really get an indicator of how far along a level 5 that evasion counter is. So I'm just gonna keep battles reasonable. Our first criteria is to get into a battle with many monsters. Ideally is 4, and that is exactly what this is. Thank you very much. So let's switch to double shield so that we do no damage. Essentially, we're trying to waste turns. The way you grind up your evade level is by racking up an internal counter which tracks how many times you have been targeted by enemies, regardless of. Oh, I had to cough there. What was I saying? Yeah. The way you grind up evasion is by racking up an internal counter which keeps track of the number of times enemies have targeted you. So you look at all these misses just in one round here, and this is why I wanted to enter a battle of 4 monsters per turn. That internal counter is getting 4 increments, right? And once that counter reaches 100, we will level up our evasion. So an encounter of 4 monsters is ideal, and we're just going to hang around here. Thankfully, these guys are just completely missing. So, like, there's absolutely nothing better than this situation. Now, assume the worst case scenario that you just leveled up your evasion last fight. What that means is you need to stick around in this battle for between 25 and 30 turns, because each turn you're getting 4 points to your next evade level, right? Of course, the formula is slightly different, which is why I'm saying it's not exactly 25 turns every time. Because the higher your current evade level is, the more number of turns you would have to essentially wait at the beginning in order to have that counter start counting. Not sure if all of this detailed explanation is making sense, but that's the way I understand it, and that's pretty much the only way I'm able to explain this. So we're just gonna stick around here for 2 or 3 turns, after which we'll just take care of them and see whether we get an upgrade to our evade level. Of course, every battle I want to also grind HP. Now, as far as our HP target is concerned, remember that the final boss has. Actually, these guys I think will go down even to swords. I would very much prefer sword levels or Scott. Right now I'm just using lances. I'm just using the flame lance because that is objectively the best weapon that we can have at this stage. Not entirely sure whether we can grind for some better weapons. Actually, that won't be a bad idea to check the bestiary. Let's do that. What the hell is? Wait, do I not have anything better than the mithril sword? That's sad. Okay, hopefully we are able to one-shot these things. Should be able to. How many hits did he get? 10 hits. Okay, so he has level 10 in swords already. It's kind of difficult to get higher than level 10 in my opinion, so probably that's gonna be it for his sword training. Yeah, I don't see him getting more than level 10 in swords. So yeah, let's not grind the sword levels. Let's just go back to the flame lance. And if I and as and when Scott organically gets sword levels, that's good. I'll take that, but right now I think he's pretty much at where he's gonna be for end game as well. So yeah, coming back to the point of the final boss. The final boss has Starfall 16. Starfall 16 does 600. There we go. Evasion increased. 600 damage per party member. Just let that sink in. Starfall 16 absolutely hurts. Evasion increase, right? So now we are up to level 5. Yeah, 5-79. With this increase in evade level, let's try that place again. He's got level 8 only. Yeah, but unfortunately I can't really use the Mithril Sword. Even the Flame Lance is hardly doing any damage. Do you have Berserk? Yeah, I think I'll absolutely need to rely on Berserk. Holy crap. So that's yet another thing that I need to grind. Well, let's see how well I can deal with the monsters right now at my current stage. Yeah, so even with the most powerful weapon that we can get right now, each of the enemies in the next area of the game are taking at least 3 or 4 turns. Considering there's a solo, effectively 1 hit equals 1 turn, because we've got only 1 character, of course. Each single enemy is taking 3 to 4 turns to kill. So when we get mobs of 4 or 5, I mean, it's not a problem if we can actually survive that. Fact is, we can't survive it. Fact is, we can't survive it, and that is primarily because of what I mentioned, that we can't really dodge magic or damage magic. So the only way to survive against magic is to either have HP or have enough DPS to just kill them. And of course, in a solo run, the max DPS that I can have, holy crap, they're still getting hits. They're getting 2 hits. So look at that. If they're getting 5 hits! Wow! I have evade level of 5. Okay, wait, I don't have 5-99. Yeah, so maybe I got screwed by RNG. 3 hits here. So let's just consider how many hits they're getting. They're getting like 2 or 3 hits, which means that is, at a minimum, we need to grind that much additional evade level. At a minimum. In order to ensure that these guys will do no damage with their physical attack. Because as it is, I'm going to be facing a very tough time having to deal with their magic attacks. So, if I have to deal with their physical attacks as well, it's going to make it impossible. Right, back to the drawing board. So we need evade level of 7 at the minimum. And in addition to that, we also need an evasion percent of 99. Right now it's 79. Easiest way to get that is by removing the giant's helm or the giant's glove, but that'll be a reduction in strength. You know what? I need to pay that price. Yeah, I need to pay that price. No giant's helm and giant. Can I have at least one of them? 92. Not good enough. Sorry, we need 99. Once we have evasion of 99, it'll give us preferential turn order. Like, we are almost guaranteed to take the first turn. But more importantly, it will make sure that we are evading all 5 hits, which is our current evasion. Oh man, which is our current evasion level. So I'm going to assume those war wolves get at least 7 hits, which is why even if Scott was evading 5 hits, they were still getting 2 hits in. So at the very minimum, we need to grind 2 more evade levels. And at the same time, I also want to grind HP because why not? Like I said, the more HP we grind, the more time we save for later on in the game. But yeah, talking about the final boss, he's gonna do his signature move is Starfall 16. Starfall 16 will do 600 damage per party members. So here is where a very annoying mechanic of the all the FF2 remakes actually, not the NES version. In pretty much all the remakes, if only one party member is alive, and that works for the enemies as well. If you're multi-targeting a spell, or if the enemies have used a multi-targeted attack, can I actually survive this? Let's see. Let's try and waste some turns. Miss. One hit. 100 damage, okay. 3 hits! Okay. No. These guys need to die. So women are not a big problem. It's the Gigas. Gigas is doing way too much damage. I can't really waste too many turns in this fight. Ouch! 5 hits! How many hits does he get? Ah shit, did not mean that. Seriously, am I gonna die here as well? Of course, I don't have any defense right now, so let's try and see if I can suck some HP with the blood sword. Come on, work! 2 hits for 87. Seriously? At least that guy got taken care of. Wow. Okay, so there are some encounters even in Reverse Jade that are going to be challenging, which is nice. Yeah. One mechanic in this game is in the remakes is that if you only have one surviving party member, which is always going to be the case in a solo challenge run, a multi-targeted spell is going to do damage as if it was single-targeted, which means it's going to do 4 times as much damage, which was indeed the case with those blaze spells from the Chimera Brains that we saw recently. So normally they would do 220 divided by 4, which is like around 50 to 60 damage, which is quite reasonable for a party member, but because Scott is the only one alive, that attack. Wait, why am I wasting turns? There's only one enemy. Hey, let's just kill this guy.
Hey, listen!
Hello, EB. Every time you come up with a new emote, which one is this? Nice. Did you get another gifted sub? How are you doing, man? Damn it. So yeah. Welcome to Grind Stream. I'm getting my ass kicked when I try to proceed to the next area of the game, and holy crap. So I'm just trying to identify what we need to grind right now and how to most effectively grind in order to achieve those goals in the shortest time possible. Me, I'm doing well. Still suffering the after effects of a particularly bad bout of influenza. So my throat is quite desperately injured, even though the cold is well and gone. My throat is really injured, so I'm going to be coughing every now and then. But hopefully I'll at least recover by the time the FF8 stream comes along. Mario Maker got a free sub. Pokemon emotes, that's so nice. Maybe I should start this trend as well. Because sometimes you're just watching a stream. They raid someone, who then raid someone, who then raid someone, and then one of those guys, you get a gifted channel there. I've heard that quite often these days, actually. So that's cool. guys are still doing damage, but not a lot of damage. So let's just try and hang around in this fight. See if we can hang around for 5 or 6 turns. But yeah, final boss is going to do so. Based on the mechanic that I just discussed, considering that the final boss is going to do 600 damage per party member, that's going to be multiplied by 4 and applied in this case. So which means that every time final boss uses Starfall, Scott is going to take a whopping 2400 damage. I mean, there's a large degree of randomness. There's a large degree of There's going to be a large degree of variation there, but it's going to be in the region of 2400. So that is our primary, that is going to be our minimum, absolute minimum required HP value. Since considering that Scott is already at 1700 HP, that value of 2400 doesn't look too far away. Doesn't look too far off. Also, yeah, not going to use the blood sword on the final boss. That's a no-no. No matter how desperate the situation is. The only reason that I got the blood sword here was because I already anticipated that early game was going to be really difficult. What I didn't anticipate was the sheer level of brutality, man. Nothing could have saved me. I still can't understand how exactly I got through, but I guess there were enough number of benign encounters that Scott was able to get enough stats, survive those encounters, get enough stats to then be able to effectively manage the upper tier encounters as well. Okay, so proceeding nicely in terms of HP. Our goal right now is primarily to grind evasion. So we need level 7 evasion. In order to do that, to remind you, what we're going to do is we're going to search for a encounter with 3 or 4 enemies or more. I don't mind that, but at the very minimum we want 4, so that every turn the evasion counter is getting 4 points for 4 enemies targeting 1 person. He's already out of MP. Holy crap. And as a side effect, even cure levels are being grinded up, which could only be a good thing, because every time we take goddamn 2400 damage from the final boss, someone has to cure that up, and that someone is not going to be Minwoo like it's supposed to be, like the game expects it to be. Solo playthrough of the other characters. This is the first solo playthrough. I have already done a solo playthrough with Minwoo, and it was ridiculously easy. I have saved up highlights if you're interested in browsing through them. Unfortunately, I don't really put the effort of just picking out moments from the stream and creating a highlight reel or something. But if you're interested, you could take a look at that. Essentially, what happened was I got Ultima. The Ultima in Soul of Rebirth is slightly, just slightly different to the Ultima from base game. And using that, Minwoo just destroyed, absolutely destroyed everything. By the time he was finished with the Pandemonium, it was a nuclear winter, let me tell you that. Slightly different, yeah, just a teeny bit different. I mean, when I discovered how good Ultima is in Soul of Rebirth, I was like, guys, this is why the Ultima in the base game sucks. Because if Ultima didn't suck, there would be no point. There would be no point. Come on, give me an encounter with 4 monsters. Thank you for the damage. Now you can die. Alright, racking up the damage there. It's still not going to be enough. So just like the quad circle run, I think at the very minimum, Scott needs to be able to one-shot the monsters in. Needs to be able to one-shot the monsters in Pandemonium. Needless to say, we're going to have to prioritize the ones that have magic, because once we get enough evasion, physical attacks are going to cease to be a problem. It's only going to be the magical enemies. So we'll have to prioritize the enemies with magic and neutralize them first. But that all comes later. First, we need to grind some evasion here. I'm just using this same opportunity to grind MP as well. Not MP, HP. At a minimum, we need 2400 HP. So let's just round it to 3000. But anything over that is going to be a bonus. Should I attempt it with about 2500 MP? Let's try that. Let me use an advantage through item manipulation. I didn't even know there was something like item manipulation. How does that work? Is that like a menu glitch like it is in Pokemon? That doing something with the menu... Actually, there's a menu glitch in FF4 SNES version as well, isn't it? You get 99 or something, I think. That's duplication. That's duplication, but I don't know. Can you like glitch some special items in the GBA version? That's interesting. I have absolutely no idea about it. In fact, for all practical purposes, I thought FFI GBA was glitch free actually. That's interesting. I do remember that when I played FF5 post game, I was not very. I was quite underwhelmed with the legendary weapons there. What was it, Gladius? I don't even remember what the other ones were. But the GBA version creatures can be found by moving items around. I saw a streamer do it several times. Apparently, Storehouse, a very powerful weapon. Great. Wow. There is a version of that in FF2 NES. Maybe I'll demonstrate that one day. Effectively, what you can do is equip. You can equip a spell book as a weapon, and then suddenly it just does. To dedicated my Storehouse, fantastic. Man, he just couldn't resist that homeliness. She couldn't. Holy crap! Yep, this is a dream encounter. And I already know that the death horns can't hit me at all. He just couldn't resist that homeliness. Okay, let's just stick around for 5 or 6 turns at least until I get bored. Hopefully we'll get level 6 evade by the end of this encounter. I like the fact that this is one of the few mechanics, this is one of the few stats in FF2 which you can't really take a shortcut to. What is the reason you killed the first dude? Well, if I had not killed the first dude, only 3 enemies would have been attacking me because these enemies are physical attackers only. So the 2 in the back row would not have been able to target me at all. So by killing the first dude, now I am effectively getting 4 guys to target me every turn. More efficient. Game still has rope? Indeed it does. It has This is the game that started the row mechanic. Of course, it started in a very extreme sense. Is that you just flat out cannot attack from the back row unless with a bow, and you just flat out cannot be targeted by physical attacks in the back row. Don't be fooled by the fact that some attacks appear like a physical attack, but when they are targeting the back row, they are technically a magic attack. Examples include there's an attack that the fire Gigas and the ice Gigas does. The elemental Gigas, they have an attack called Bulldog. And it appears to be a physical attack which targets the back row, but it is in fact a magic attack. So one of my friends was bewildered that even despite the fact that I had sky high evasion, how was he still able to hit me? Simple. As I mentioned, you cannot evade damage magic. Given enough magic defense, you can evade status magic. Given enough physical evasion, you can evade physical attacks, obviously, which is the secret of this game. But there is no way to completely avoid damage magic. Which I would say, I mean, would you say that is a flaw? I don't think so. I think it would be just too OP if you allowed a character to evade everything. That's the definition of a god. Hello, Shehali. Please say hi to Shehali on my behalf. As usual, she is stuck on the phone. So, how many turns has it been? Yeah, I was talking about the evasion mechanic. This is one of those stats which you can't really take a shortcut. This stat as well as agility. Holy crap! Don't get me started on agility. I think that is just flat out wrong. The way to grind agility is to just do certain things and then leave it up to RNG. So, in the best case scenario, every fight you have a 10% chance to gain agility, and there is nothing you can do to increase that chance. I just think that is wholly unfair. But of course, agility really only comes into play in challenge runs. Damn it! My work is busy. Not at all. I just can't even. Why do I bother? Agility only really comes to play in challenge runs, I suppose. And there is one specific mechanic which is related to agility, but for the most part, you don't care about agility directly. What you care about is evasion. Because evasion performs the three roles for one stat, which is why I keep saying that is single-handedly the most important statistic in the game. I mean, you could be pedantic and say evasion is divided. It's actually two stats which you need to grind separately. But let's just say evasion is evasion, and by getting a high evade level as well as evasion percentage, you get favorable turn order. You don't get hit by physical attacks, and also, what was the third one again? What the third one was? Whatever, it's important stuff. But coming back to magic attacks, technically, oh there we go, evasion increased. Nice, now he's at level 6. Level 6 evasion, 6-99. So we need to grab. We need to grind one more evade level and then we will attempt Pandemonium yet again. So yeah, regarding magic attacks, there is absolutely no way to dodge damage magic attacks, direct damage magic attacks such as the elemental spells. Basically spells that whose function is to do damage first and foremost. It's not to inflict a status. So no amount of magic defense is going to help you avoid that. Which was a mechanic I was very surprised by in FF. In fact, yeah. Pretty much all the FFs after this one have a mechanic where you can reduce the damage. In fact, you can reduce it down to 0 starting from FF3. So there is a magic defense stat which reduces damage taken from out and out damage magic spells. Of course, the way that game is designed, you can only get it to a certain number, and pretty much endgame enemies will always have a higher multiplier than what you can, not multiplier, higher base damage than the maximum magic defense that you can get. So because of game design, it's going to prevent you from completely becoming OP. I guess unless you grind to level 99 or something. I've never seen anyone do that. I haven't done it myself, obviously. But there are very few mechanics in any games that I've seen which are as overpowered as evasion here. Physical evasion. Which is why I maintain that if a similar mechanic was to be applied to 3 monsters, you know what, I'll take this. Yeah, simply because these kind of encounters are pretty rare. I mean, where are the big mobs when I actually need them, huh? There were plenty when I was just beginning this this section. What the hell? Murphy's Law, I tell you. Oh god. So optimistically, I thought it wasn't going to be a breeze, but I definitely thought I'd be able to make some progress today. I still might, but holy crap, man. The enemies in the next dungeon are just magnitude stronger than anything that we have here. I wouldn't mind the amount of damage they do if they didn't have as much defense or as much HP as they do. But if every single monster is going to take 3 to 4 turns by himself, that amount of survivability is just not possible. At least until we get the Wild Rose. Once we get the Wild Rose, I fully expect that I will start one-shotting everything, except the really beefy monsters at least. And there are lots of beefy monsters in Pandemonium. Example, I think there are Mithril Golems at the very least. Or is it Steel Golem? Well, there's some type of golem there. I think I'm just gonna cop out in those encounters and use the Blood Sword. Not gonna deal with those things. Honestly, at this stage, if the only alternative left to me is to grind sky high levels and HP levels and whatnot, I'd rather just go all out, use the Blood Sword, against enemies with a high amount of high HP and sky high defense, and just call it a day. Not gonna have to take shit from them. Except the bosses, of course, except the bosses. For the random encounters, no, I don't think so. At the same time, I maintain that the random encounters in this game are far more difficult than the bosses. I don't think that is quite true for Soul of Rebirth actually. This is a beautifully designed post game. Even more so than FF5 in my opinion. Maybe I should play FF5 post game once again. I've literally only played it once. Did he get evade? He did not. Maybe one more fight. Oops, damn it. Come on, right now we're just looking for level 7 evade. I don't know, for some reason I don't mind grinding in FF2 as much as in other games. Which is another point of hypocrisy in my book, I suppose. Simply because this kind of grinding is so dynamic. You actually have to think about something. You actually have to come up with a plan. You have to think about what exactly is it that you need, what is your goal, and work towards that. Because grinding, essentially the way I look at this is every single stat is its own level based mechanic, and leveling up every individual stat is its own separate game, I suppose. So you need to take different set of actions in order to focus on different stats. So it's not just the mind-numbing activity of killing goblins, getting experience, and somehow miraculously you get objectively better at doing something. I think that is one of the things that really attracted me to the game. Not the fact that it represents reality, I guess, more accurately than a traditional RPG. I mean, this is supposed to be a game. But the fact that you have avenues for growth, and there's very much a tactical component to it. Even though ultimately it's coming down to grinding for, at least for this stage. An RPG will always show its true colors at some point or the other. If chess was an RPG, actually that's an interesting question. If chess was an RPG, how would you grind? Maybe before actually taking on the actual opponent, you'd grind some random encounters who will not have all of their pieces, I guess. So, gives any other to grind queens? No, not that way. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So instead of starting off with equal pieces on both sides, you'd start off with like 9 queens on your side. Depending on how much you grind, you'd have more than 1 queen on your side. So that'll offer you a very clear advantage. In fact, now that I think about it, there are some people who have handicap matches like this. Like the way they do it is, okay, I'm gonna start without my one of my rooks versus the other player who has all of his pieces. It's really cool. And only by handicapping yourself like that, Do you partake in real tactical challenges? Now, what I'm doing here is essentially compensating for self-imposed restrictions by essentially reducing the difficulty by grinding, which you could say it is cheating. But the thing is, because this game is an RPG, I don't really see any other way. How could I deal? Given all of the restrictions that I'm putting on myself, well, not all, it's pretty simple. It's a solo challenge after all. But let's just think abstractly. Given all the restrictions that I'm putting on, did he get evasion? I failed to. Yep, we've got level 7 evasion. We need more tools like it. Yeah, very good point. Absolutely. I would argue that FF2 also gives you plenty of tools. But the thing is, right now, as a game as a whole, FF2 gives you plenty of tools. The thing is, because we're specifically restricting ourselves to solo Rebirth, and within that we're restricting ourselves to a solo challenge, it severely restricts the amount of tools that are accessible to me because of the way the game is designed right now. So imagine if I had all the tools that are available in the base game in the post game. Let's say I had access to all the weapons and equipment and all the items as well. I think I would fare a lot better, and it would definitely make it would definitely allow me more tactical leverage. But because of all of these restrictions, I'm forced to go the cheap way and grind in order to reduce the difficulty, because at the end of the day, I have to admit to myself that what I have undertaken here is way too difficult for me to just do it in a purely tactical manner. If you see most of my other challenge runs in FF2, they are no grinding. Shout out to the no magic challenge run, which is literally no grinding. Okay, we got mini Satana. These guys are obviously horrible things. What are we looking at? Yeah, these things are magicians. Bit like me. Is it Dullhand? Not just Dullhand. You had to grind for. What? Okay, what was that? 36 damage. Okay. I will also need to keep track of which enemies are not really very threatening, and I guess many Satanas are falling into that category. When I say not threatening, I have to qualify that it's not threatening because I have the white robe. Didn't you have to grind for something else? You had to grind for final boss as well. A magician, but nothing as bad as... Yeah, definitely nothing as bad as it. Dullhand was your quad Zerker challenge, man. Holy crap. Now I'm talking about the final boss in Golden Sun 1. Quite sure you had to grind a bit, but that was because you pretty much raced through Golden Sun 1 with like hardly any grinding. So that's a point in your favor. Definitely leverage all the tactical tools in your toolbox. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say but. That game is easy, but still it was a fantastic accomplishment. And for the bonus boss in Treasure Isle. Bonus boss in Treasure Isle, I don't remember that. Who was that again? Isn't the one in Treasure Isle Magician? Or is Magician in some other dungeon? Blackbeard. Blackbeard is not Treasure Isle. Blackbeard is Cosmo Isle. Okay. That's what you meant by Treasure Isle. When you talk about Treasure Isle, I was thinking of Golden Sun 2's Treasure Island. Okay. Point to be noted, many Satanas are golden armor. What the fuck? This is crap armor. Damn it, at least give me something good, guys. I'm looking for some tactical options here. I should save on slot 2 first and foremost. Let's heal up. Okay. So this is something I will definitely need to keep track of. Chimera brains are pain in the ass. If I encounter what were those other things I encountered? Mini goblin, no goblin. Puro, no. What was the name of those goblins? I forgot. But those goblins only had physical attacks, right? I believe they only had physical attacks. So with level 7 evasion, I should be able to tank those goblins. But let's only confirm once we get that encounter. But mini satanas are not a problem because neither their physical attacks nor their magic are really making any impact whatsoever. Mini satanas, thank you very much. I'll take this encounter. But yeah, I'm talking about Golden Sun 1. You did have to grind for final boss. You said, I clearly remember when you said you normally finish the game at level 27? Level 27 question mark? But you had to grind to level 33, 35, something like that. They have death, but I have the white robe. So yeah, mini satanas here are demonstrating one exception. It was the other way. What do you mean it was the other way? It was Jin for Blackbeard? Yeah, exactly. You did use Jin for Blackbeard. And also you ran him out of PP. That was very funny. Damn. You did use Jin for Blackbeard. Man, I wish you had a save of that time. So maybe after Dullahan you could repeat that one without Jin. Since you're pretty adamantly not using Jin for Dullahan. Okay, so the mini satanas here are demonstrating an exception to the mechanic that I was talking about before. Look at the ridiculously low amounts of damage they are doing. That's not to say that if I had all 4 party members, they would be doing a quarter of that damage as well. No. For some spells, which is completely unspecified, but Shihari has a theory on that, which makes sense, but we'll not get into those pedantic details right now. Why is it not overload? Yeah. Posted. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, otherwise you would have needed to grind a lot for Blackbeard without using Jin. Yeah, that does make sense. So the exception is that sometimes the spell will still do damage as if it is affecting all 4 party members. Not only is it doing that much damage only, but even when it shows the animation, it shows as if it's affecting all party members. Magic defense, agility, thank you very much. We are still to encounter. Seriously, now all you're giving me is this encounter? It is worth noting that even this relatively benign encounter, mind you, it's benign only because I've got the white robe. So that white robe came into play pretty importantly. These guys are great for magic defense, but the problem is constantly looking at their animation will just put you to sleep. We have yet to test our feat against the Chimera Brains, the Goblin whose name I've forgotten. Yeah, even though we are very easily able to handle this encounter, we are not doing any damage. Which reminds me, yeah. We need to start practicing Berserk. Because yeah, I see no other option here. At least until we get the Wild Rose. Speaking of the Wild Rose, I'm gonna be making a beeline for the Wild Rose because that is going to be my salvation here. I see no other way. But until then, hang on. But until we get the Wild Rose, and most probably, even after we get the Wild Rose, these enemies have so much defense and so much HP. Actually, it reminds me, if these things have a lot of HP, the Blood Sword is going to do quite a number on them. Let's give it a shot. I have absolutely no qualms using the Blood Sword against random encounters. 300 damage for 4 hits. We're getting 4 hits with the Blood Sword, which is nice. Never mind. Now only getting 1 hit. What the hell, Scott? There we go. So level strength, agility. We got Totem. I don't care about the Totem. Red Mage cannot use the Totem, which is yet another restriction that I'm putting on Scott. See, the problem with FF2 when coming up with challenges is that anybody, it's very free flowing. Anybody can do anything. So there is literally no distinction between Minwoo and Scott, which is something that I wanted to focus on. Which is why we have the additional restrictions of making sure that Scott behaves like a red mage. Red mages cannot learn high-level black magic spells like Toad. Okay, we've got a couple of new enemies here. We already know that Mini Satana is no big deal. I do believe Blood Bones are physical attack only. These are traditional bombs. And there's a little murderer. Okay, little murderer. Little Murderer, we need to test our new evasion skills against. Will he be able to land any physical hit? Nope, nobody's able to get a physical hit, which means test passed. Evasion level of 7 is good enough, at least for Little Murderers, Bloodbones and Puroboros. Let's take them all one by one. I do want to take out the Mini Satana as soon as possible because his constant spell spam is annoying. Even though his constant spell spam is giving me points towards magic defense levels, I don't really care about magic defense. The White Robe protects me against all status effects. And as mentioned previously, magic defense only really works against status effects. No way to reduce damage from damage spells. Actually, that's not entirely true. With sufficient magic defense, you can still reduce the damage, but the reduction is so insignificant that I would go all in and say that the magic defense stat is definitely, well, at the very least, let's just say that the magic defense stat is certainly nowhere near as important as the physical evasion stat. But point to be noted is you can still technically reduce damage from damage spells, but you definitely can't reduce it to 0 unless you use a very special technique, which maybe I'll demonstrate. Maybe we shall see. Or should I use a sword? Spear level increase, shield level increase, nice. Oh, I got betrayal fangs. Holy crap, I'm gonna use them. Yeah. So these battle items which I'm getting was a part of what I was mentioning previously, that battle items can form a part of one's tactical toolbox in FF2. It's a shame that most battle items are one use only and we hardly get any throughout the game. Scott got a shield level. So let's see if now we can equip either the Giant's Gloves or something. Let me see if we can equip Giant's Helm and Thief's Gloves. Thief's Gloves essentially grants extra agility to offset the weight of the Giant's Helm. So with the Giant's Helm and Thieves' Gloves, what is our evasion? Still, it's 99%. Holy crap! What about with the Giant's Gloves? It's still 99%? One shield level did wonders for evasion. Okay. So as I mentioned previously, the plus 10 to strength from the Giant's Helm and the plus 10 from the Giant's Gloves is going to help tremendously. Not with outright damage, but specifically with the Blood Sword. Alright, we are getting there, War Wolves, have you seen these things before? I think we have. Oh shit, these things still manage to land one hit, which means that they must have more than 7 hits. Nice to note, but I guess they only have 8 hits. 2 hits, okay, maybe they have 9 hits. Or maybe that guy got a crit, that's why that extra hit. But still, right now the damage is so much more manageable. And it seems that the Warwolves are physical attacks only. Which is cool. I'm also physical attacks only right now. Five hits, did you see that? That is the benefit of... okay, 3 hits now. That is the benefit of Giant's Gloves and Giant's Helmet. So even though I'm looking for HP, it looks like encounters on the first floor have become a lot more manageable after grinding a couple evade levels. So what we can do now is go back out. I remember I cannot warp out, which was quite a shocking revelation. Oops. These things are not going to do any damage, so I might as well keep the Blood Sword. Now, technically speaking, I would like to optimize all of these encounters and grind some HP while I'm at it. So what I'm going to do right now is go out, make preparations, and make a serious attempt at this dungeon. And we'll need to take each floor by floor. We'll need to take things slow and steady because of the fact that we cannot warp out. That is, oh man, what a major inconvenience. Seriously, I can't believe I can't warp out. Oh my god, can you guys please stop? So in terms of preparations, first and foremost we need consumables. I'm just going to take a look at all of the shops in order to find whether there's something that might come in handy. But I'm really looking forward to what happens once I get the Wild Rose. If I remember correctly, the Wild Rose is actually guarded by a boss, which means that's going to be our next checkpoint. I'm going to avoid all boss fights. There are a bunch of boss fights on the fourth floor. If we even manage to reach there by today. I do have quite a bit of time, and as we have just seen, a couple evade levels have done wonders for my survivability. So if I make it to the first floor, I'm going to avoid all the boss fights there and rush straight to the Wild Rose chest. I do believe the Wild Rose is guarded by a boss. I don't really remember which boss that is. But that's going to be our first, what do you say? First real checkpoint. I guess the first checkpoint was these random encounters in the first place. As soon as I entered Pandemonium here, I got soundly thrashed, because of which I had to go back to Jade and grind. But that's going to be a second checkpoint for us. What happens? What happens when I try to obtain the Wild Rose? But I'm really excited to find out what happens once I get the Wild Rose. How much easier will the game become, and in what ways? Given that the Wild Rose grants 99 strength and 99 intelligence, I don't really see a reason to use black magic unless one or more of these monsters has elemental weaknesses. Which reminds me to check the bestiary. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Also need to check what drops these guys have, because I would desperately like some good drops. I would like any advantages I can get. Oh, please, guys. These guys are so annoying. This is proper red soul territory. Come in large groups, spam spells, literally do no damage. These guys are the speedrunner's bane. Actually, is there even a speedrunner Soul of Rebirth? I guess that's the next bright idea I'm gonna get. I'm actually gonna note that down. That's not a half bad idea. I'm surprised there was. There might be on YouTube somewhere, but on speedrun.com there's hardly any. There's definitely no category for solo Rebirth. That would be interesting to find out. First thing I would need to find out is which encounters are runnable and which encounters are not runnable. Wow. And that pretty much defines the unrunnable encounters, pretty much defines an FF2 speedrun. Not the boss fights. Actually, as far as solo Rebirth, no, we've got the blood. Shit. How would you even define what a speedrun would be? Because literally, you can literally import anything from the base game. But if, let's say, we were to import what I imported right now, the white robe and the blood sword, I guess that would be one point of optimization for the Soul of Rebirth speedrun, is deciding what to import from the base game. I think blood sword is pretty much mandatory. Perhaps even the white robe. Wow, I have started going down this path now, and I can't stop thinking about how a Soul of Rebirth speedrun would be like. But yeah, I will think about that later. It's possible that every single encounter here is unrunnable? That would be ridiculous, man. The Soul of Rebirth speedrun would take more time than the base game. Okay, let's go check out all the shops. We need to prepare for a concerted effort for the next dungeon. Leather gloves, seriously. Mithril shield, mithril stuff, not interested. And now that I think about it, I should probably start running from some of the encounters. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Now that I have 99% evasion, if I can't run away from an encounter, it can only mean that it's unrunnable. Do I have an ice shield? Equip 0. I don't have an ice shield. I definitely want one. Ice shield will half damage. In fact, even more than half damage from fire spells. So this will definitely come in handy. Ice shield will definitely come in handy against those chimeras. Giant Sun Knight's Armor, Giant's Glove, I already have. So that's it for the armor shop. What about the magic shop? I think I've already got whatever magic I wanted. Fire, thunder, blizzard. Yep, these are all red mage spells allowed for the red mage. Blink allowed. Yeah, blink literally has no use because aforementioned evasion. Protect no use because if enemies can't land a hit, they're not going to do any damage. So reducing damage from missed attacks doesn't make sense. Shell, I was considering whether it would be useful at all, but I don't think so. And Basuna is completely useless. I've already seen this. Very bad selection of spells, I must say. Asuna, yeah, Asuna we've got life. LOL. Using life in a solo challenge? Yeah, right. Sap and Mini are not allowed for the red mage. Okay, so finally weapons. Yeah, I literally think Flame Lance is the best weapon that we can get right now. What do you mean the power staff does more damage? The challenge for no life. Indeed. Power staff has more damage than the Flame Lance. And the Flame Lance does more damage. But oh, wait, I have the Blood Sword equipped. Of course. No. Objectively, the Flame Lance is better. For sheer damage, of course. Broadsword Axe, Wing Sword. Do I have? No, I don't have one. Wing Sword does decent damage and has bonus damage against flying type creatures, so I might consider using this. And of course, it gets bonus points for being a sword, which also the Wild Rose is. But we don't have a very good sword. If the Wing Sword is the best that we can get right now, that's pretty sad. And look at this crap selection that we have here. What this game? Yeah, this is just a troll. I have to say, this is just a troll. We come to Soul of Rebirth only to find that we've got a crap selection. Imagine if they only offered us starting game stuff. This is post game, for crying out loud. Yeah, definitely a troll. I'm sure the original developer of Final Fantasy 2 would have advised to put something like that in. Hey, you know what would be a good idea, guys? Let's put like really beginning stuff, beginning of early game stuff in Soul of Rebirth, which is like post game. Also, it's a post game which doesn't fuck around. Wait, consumables. Where is the consumables shop? I believe this is it. Consumables. I have 85,000 bucks. Wait, this is a magic shop. Where the hell is the item shop? Hello? There you go. Potion eye drops, antidotes. I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy any of these. I'm going to rely on Asuna. And my reliance on Asuna means that I absolutely... I can buy a Gaia drum. Sorry for the pause, I'm just thinking. Gaia drum has a lot of tactical the Gaia drum potentially has a lot of tactical potential. We shall see. I mean, I have to first of all remember to actually use it. Yeah. So I was talking about this. We absolutely need some mallets. Because if I'm going to be relying on Asuna to cure Scott of blindness, of curse, or whatever the hell, which he should not be afflicted with in the first place, I'm going to need to make sure that he's never afflicted with what, amnesia. So that's why I absolutely need to buy some mallets. Other than that, don't really need any consumables. I'm going to be using Scott's magic. Or the only thing we need is to make sure that he never runs out of magic. So I'm going to spend the what? 63. Oh, I already have 36 in stock. I have 99 ethers. Nice. I thought I was going to. I thought I was only going to be able to manage like 50 or so. So this should ensure that Scott never runs out of magic. However, his cure level is pretty high. Yeah, cure 9. Holy crap. Maybe I should use this in battle more often to grind some MP on him. But no, I'm not going to bother grinding MP because I've got 99 ethers. Honestly, running out of MP means I'm in a very not MP. Running out of ethers means I would be in a desperate situation. But anyway, let's go ahead and try a serious effort. Try a serious effort on this dungeon. Knowing full well that I'm going to constantly get my ass kicked here. I mean, there is just no way. Holy crap. So we got 2 Chimera Brains and 2 Orocats. Orocats are the new monsters. We already know that the Chimera Brains will spam their blaze attack, and also they are a bitch to take down. So let's switch over to where the hell is it? Oh, this might be a good test for the wing sword. Let's see how much damage the wing sword does. The chimeras are considered as flying enemies simply because of 240 damage. No. Sorry, 240 damage is not good enough. I also need to switch to the wing sword, not the wing sword, the ice shield, because depth 8. Okay, Orocats, I see what you guys are doing. But if they can't land a hit and all they use is status spells, they are not a threat. I also have the ancient sword actually. I forgot about this! I have the damn ancient sword! God damn it. What am I, a noob at Final Fantasy 2? Replace the golden shield with ice shield in order to take very little damage when the chimeras do spam their blaze attack, and curse them for good measure, so they will do even less damage. But yeah, so as we can so what, I've been drinking so much water because of my dry throat that now I have to, well, excrete it. It's being considered as excess in my body after all, which is completely natural. So hang on, I'll just take a quick break here. He's going downstairs. Something like that. Maybe that needs to be another hashtag, eh? What were we doing here? Right, we are cursing chimeras. Fuck you, chimera! Oh, there comes the blaze. So here's where we get to see a demonstration of the what? Dude, I have the ice shield, and you still took 220 damage. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Alright, I just systematically curse everyone. Fuck you, Chimera Brain. Fuck you, Chimera Brain. Fuck you, Orocat. Fuck you, Orocat. Yep, now I have cursed everyone. After curse, the damage reduces to 133. Yep, so curse effectively halves it. I don't understand why the ice shield is not working. I'm very disappointed. God damn it. Okay, yeah, so we are now very clearly segregating enemies into 3 distinct groups, okay? Group 1 has only remember that all enemies have physical attacks, so it's not as if there's just one enemy with physical attacks and others are magic. Once ancient sword is done, what do we need to do? Where is the right. The explicit why we needed to curse them is so that their defense would be halved and effectively we do double damage. Of course, what that means is the first 4 turns we are spending actually trying to inflict curse on them. But overall, I'm not entirely sure that this would reduce the number of turns of the battle, but at this point we don't really care how many turns the battle takes now, do we? If as long as our survivability is ensured, the length of the battle doesn't really matter. In fact, I would go as far as to say that it's actually better for us to drag battles if possible, just so that we can grind on the go. That is exactly how I approached it during my first playthrough of Soul of Rebirth. So, speaking of, as far for our purposes, we can clearly divide enemies into 3 distinct categories. First category of enemy has physical attacks. Second category is damage magic. And in fact, we could have a subcategory of that damage magic, which I will get to shortly. And the third category is status spells. Of course, a single monster can have overlapping categories. So let's take this Chimera, for example. As I mentioned, all enemies have physical attacks. Some just choose not to use them. Some use them infrequently. So this Chimera Brain, for example, has a physical attack as well as damage magic. Now, because of my evasion and because of the fact that I have a white robe, as long as the enemies don't have dispel, I am protected against status spells because of the white robe. All status spells. Doesn't matter what spell it is. It's not gonna land. Of course, if an enemy has dispel and he manages to dispel one of these statuses, I am screwed, because the white robe, obviously, it only grants immunity at the beginning. Once it's dispelled, we are screwed. This is not like Final Fantasy Tactics, where the buff granted by an accessory will last forever and it cannot be dispelled. Kind of the same mechanic in FF5 as well, I believe. For example, I remember Omega, we could not dispel his Reflect, Protect and Shell. Ribbon! Ribbon, Catclaw, Phoenix Down, Sage's Wisdom. That's what we're talking about. I don't know who dropped the ribbon, but obviously I don't need another ribbon. There's only one problem with the ribbon, if you can even call it a problem. Haha, I got a Phoenix Down. Yeah, very useful. Actually, can't really blame the game. Phoenix Down might be useful. One problem with the ribbon is it's going to replace a giant's helm. Is it worth it? I don't think. Right now, it's not worth it. But yeah, that ribbon was a great drop. Wow, I don't know which monster dropped that, but holy crap. Thank you for that, man. Magnificent. I was going to look at the bestiary. Let's take a look at this. Oh shit. It's gonna give me a whole bunch of encounters from the base game. Hang on, how do I look at... Aha! Yeah, I do believe the base game has 128 monsters. 128. Yeah, 128 is the Emperor. So everything after 128 is Soul of Rebirth. Let's check them out. I'm only concerned about the encounters in Pandemonium. So which is Little Murderer. Little Murderer can drop a Black Robe, Confused Tome, Flare Tome, Flare. No, Red Mage cannot use Flare. Wizard Staff, don't care. What is his weakness? Weakness Lightning. Aha! So I was wrong. Some of the enemies do have weaknesses. I'm gonna... Yeah, whenever I can find an elemental weakness, I'm gonna have Scott practice that particular spell. It's simultaneously better than a physical attack, and it also gives him an excuse to practice that spell. Purobolos can drop the Flame Bow, Golden Armor, Curse Storm, Totem, don't care. Weakness to Ice. Okay, so I guess these are the more traditional types of bombs from Final Fantasy. Unlike FF2, the FF2 bombs are actually weak to fire. So it never ceases to. I never cease to make that mistake. To this date, whenever I'm playing Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm using fucking fire on those bombs, and regretting it every damn time. At some point in time, I will have to realize that bombs are weak to ice. Right, we don't care about their drops. Glacial Apollos, no, he's from the previous dungeon. Okay, Lil Murderer weak to lightning. The bomb is weak to ice. Bloodbones are undead, so obviously they will be weak to fire. Conch Shell. Hey, that would actually be a pretty good drop. Weakness fire, obviously. Absorb that, sure. So we do have a bunch of enemies with elemental weakness. What the fuck was I thinking? Wargroove, don't drop anything. Yeah, thanks guys. Weakness none. Ah, there we go. Just as I say that there are a bunch of encounters with weaknesses, we see someone with no weaknesses. So Warwolf against Warwolf, I will have to rely on standard tactics, but they are non-threatening anyway. Mini Satana, don't care. Weakness none again. Weakness none. But these things are not a big deal. Chimera Brain, do you have a weakness? Oh, they can drop a Mithril Mirror. If I get a Mithril Mirror, I'm going to show something nice. I'm going to show something really cool. Phoenix Down, Ether, Mallet, and Cat Claw. I already got the Cat Claw. And the Cat Claw is objectively a superior weapon to the Flame Lance, even though he doesn't have any levels with it. So I think I am going to go ahead and use it. Weakness none. Great. Anything else? Orucat. Orucat also probably won't have a weakness. These things drop the ribbon. Nice, nice. And they can also drop a Protect Ring. Diamond Cuirass, Gold Hairpin, Sage's Wisdom. Sage's Wisdom is for intelligence, so it's not particularly useful. Weakness none, great. So after the first three, pretty much all the encounters that we got had no weakness at all. Great, just great. Okay, so we're still gonna have to rely primarily on physical attacks. Scott, what is your level in knives? Level 2 only. That's not good, but I think you will catch up pretty quickly. Let's see how well this works out. Where's the cat claw? Where is the cat call? Look at that. Look at that damage increase. I just hope that I'm still able to survive encounters so that he can start building up his level in knives. Alright. So we got a ribbon. I'm not going to be using the ribbon right now because I'm kind of relying on the giant's helmet. Once we get the wild rose, I'll go ahead and equip the ribbon. Don't care about the giant stuff anymore. How much damage are we going to do? Not great. Not great at all. Okay, I'll need to figure a strategy to get some experience for the cat call. Right now it's going to be sticking to the flame lance. How much HP do these things normally have? I don't remember, it takes like 3 or 4 turns, right? Okay, let me switch to the cat call right now and see if I can finish him off with this. This is a very cheap trick that we can use to... Nope, not yet dead. This is a cheap trick we can use to get experience for the weapon that we actually want to gain experience with. Still not dead. This is kind of getting dangerous. Come on, you need to die. 46, seriously? Okay, never mind. So what the game does is it will only grant experience to the weapon that you are equipping at the end of the fight. There we go. At least he got some experience for swords. Sword level increase, that's what I was hoping for. The HP is really getting up there. But yeah, what I was saying is that the game only grants experience to the weapons and or shield, whatever you're equipping, at the end of the fight. So a cosmic brain strat is to proceed through the encounter using a higher level weapon that you don't really care about, but which does much more damage. Little murderers, these things are weak to lightning, so let's take good care of them. Can he one-shot? I doubt he can one-shot them. 620. Nope, maybe two-shot. More importantly, his thunder level is going to increase. I'm going to take advantage of elemental weaknesses when they do make themselves appear. Otherwise, going to stick to physical attacks. And as mentioned previously, I already have plenty of ether, so I should never be in a position to run out of MP. I mean, yeah, there might be a small stretch where I will run out of MP. 500 damage! Who was that? Wait. Is this little murderer like the trap encounter in Final Fantasy IV? That thing which asks you to use Bolt 3 on him, and then when you do use Bolt 3, he will counter-attack that with something really, really nasty. I thought all he did was a physical attack, but no, apparently he's doing single target bolt damage worth 500 damage. Ah! Thunderbolt 13! That's exactly what he's doing! Bastard! Oh man, G-baited! Nicely G-baited me! How the hell did they manage this AI script? quite sure that advanced AI like this is not possible in the Final Fantasy 2 engine. This is really interesting. So if you, as long as I don't use thunder on the little murderer, he won't use thunder on me, which is single targeted. Yikes! Unless it's not that way at all. But so far the other little murderer has not done anything. Wow, these things are dangerous. Oh god, everybody's gonna spam their spells. Damn, mini Satanas are in the back row as well. Another very important thing is to just like grinding HP. What you want to ensure is that you start the fight at full HP and then allow the enemies to chip your HP down and not heal during the fight. Only heal after the fight in order to have a maximal chance of gaining HP at the end of the fight. So that it works a similar way for MP. What you want to make sure is start the fight at max MP. Keep using spells. Don't heal up your MP during the fight for a maximal chance of gaining MP. Just like with HP, at best you only have a 50% chance of gaining MP, so unfortunately it's just not guaranteed. Nothing in life is. Alright, time to use fire on these things now, and Mini Satana, yeah, no weakness, right? Let's at least get rid of one of those annoying things. God damn it, I'm so sick of them constantly spamming spells. Can we one-shot? No, we can't one-shot them. Ouch! Oh, that was because of haste. I failed to notice. Those things cast haste on each other and suddenly they are able to actually land a hit on me. Bastards! Actually smart. Very smart. There we go. Got some free healing. I don't want to use a cure spell unnecessarily because it's going to get leveled up outside battle anyway, and outside battle we are getting like a constant 2 experience. Wow, that Bloodborne in the bottom needs to die. That guy must have got a very lucrative haste roll. 2 hits! Ah, shit. He's doing too much damage, he needs to die. I'm just gonna use a physical attack on him. Wow, this is getting pretty close. Scary stuff. Please kill him! Oh shit! Oh, we are dead. Oh, thank God we are not dead. He missed his attack. Come on, kill him now. Man, the enemies in this dungeon are so beefy. Looks like everyone has a minimum of 2000 HP. Jesus. I mean, it's justified. It's like I said, I keep mentioning, it's only going to be a struggle right now. Once we get the wild rolls, we're going to be so much more powerful. But yeah, coming back to the question of MP. You just use all your spells in the fight, and I'm trying to limit my usage of spells because, well, I don't have infinite MP, even though I keep mentioning that I have 99 ethers at my disposal. I'm going to take advantage of elemental weaknesses. Okay, those things have like 1300 HP, not 2000. Good to know. How much HP do these things have? If I can optimize this, I can get some solid amount of experience for my cat call. Yeah, don't heal MP in battle. Actually, that's not entirely true, but I'll get to that point later. In order to have a maximum chance of gaining MP, so that in the future you'll have more of an MP pool to work with. It works the same way for HP. So that, okay, these things have about 1000 HP. So let's take advantage of that. God damn it! Need to heal back some HP. Finally, let's switch to the cat call. This thing must have about 200 HP remaining, so it'll take a couple turns. They keep using haste on themselves and then never bother to actually use a physical attack. Very strange creatures. There we go. Knife level increased, MP increased, stamina increased, and wizard staff. Don't care. Actually, I do care about the wizard staff. It casts level 16. Oh no, it's multi-targeted. It's multi-target. Multi-targeted spells are very weak in FF2. Almost to the point of not bothering at all. Not bothering with multi-targeted spells. I forgot to actually level up Berserk. But we don't need it right now. I'm in a relatively comfortable position. In terms of dealing with these monsters at least, that I don't need the Berserk spell right now. I might need for this! Okay. So, I very purposely did not heal MP outside battle. Because... where is the ancient sword? Yeah, we need to reduce the damage these guys do with their blaze attack, and since we can't one-shot them, my second best strategy is to curse them one by one and then take my time whittling down their HP. So the most ethers are more efficiently used inside battle because they are considered as casting a spell. So the strategy I'm going to be using for as far as MP growth is concerned is I'm going to use spells inside battle, not heal, and then actually do the actually consume an ether in battle for the next fight, and make sure that I'm not using spells in that fight at least, because then what would be the point? That is to ensure that I start the next fight, which is after I've healed up my MP, with at full MP. So that's going to be my strategy. This is just a point of optimization, but what I found is that the amount of MP that you get inside in battle rather than out of battle when you are using an ether is significantly higher. So if you have a significant MP pool and if you have a significant MP pool and since you can only carry 99 ethers, it's very much possible that using ethers outside battle only gives you like 20 or 30 MP per ether. So it's possible to run out of ethers as well, which is a really sad situation. That's why whenever possible, I'm gonna try and use ethers in battle. How much HP do these things have? Damage is much more manageable, and every now and then Scott is getting HP, so that is helping with survivability as well. We are already up to 2300. I still don't understand why the ice shield is not helping reduce the damage from this blaze attack. Is it like not considered fire and elemental? That doesn't make sense. Very disappointed. Ribbon will help, but as I've mentioned previously, I do not want to get rid of my giant's helm. So these things have about 2000 HP? I would guess so, based on the amount of damage I'm doing and how much they're surviving. Stop using fire attacks which are not fire elemental! Wow, they have reduced my HP down to 700. Maybe they're out of MP right now. That would be funny. I survived so long that they ran out of MP. Bastards. So yeah, about 2000 HP. No, oh, never mind. I was just getting pretty lucky. Still doing 154 damage. 4 Chimera Brains, even after being cursed, are pretty badass, man. But you know what? I have a secret up my sleeve. Oops. Cut. Thanks for HP, bitches. Free HP, that too. Cannot be underestimated. I don't want to heal more than that HP in order to get a chance to gain HP. Alright, let's switch over to the cat call. Damn it. Please die. The quicker the better. Thank you. Better give me a level in cat call. Shield level increase, evasion increase, HP increase, strength increase. Holy! And I got a mithril mirror. Yes. Awesome. I can demonstrate some certain shenanigans. About Sage's Wisdom, couple Betrayal Fangs, Sleep Grass. Oh! 7 Sleep Grass. This will actually come in handy. A couple Mithril Mirrors, very important. One is going to be reserved for the final boss. Funny and sell all of these things. Anyway, what is your knife level? Knife level only 4. Okay, nowhere near enough. Cat Claw is the best weapon that we've got in terms of sheer base damage. But the thing is, at level 4 knife, no, right now it's just not feasible, especially given how much HP these things have. Okay, proceeding onwards. So up until now, literally only the Chimera Brains, especially when they come in large groups, have posed any challenge whatsoever. I'm talking post level 7 evasion, of course. Before that, they pretty much wiped the floor with me. I must be fair about this. Alright, instant curse. 12 hits with the ancient sword. Where is the flame lance? There we go. So far, pretty straightforward. We are going to encounter new enemies at some point, and then we'll decide how to tackle them. But yeah, so far, literally the only type of enemy that we care about that we have encountered so far is the one with damage magic. And so far, we have only encountered one enemy that fits that description. That is who we are fighting right now, the Chimera Brain. And the strategy we are using is to neutralize them one by one with the ancient sword so that their damage is manageable, and because of the sheer amount of HP that Scott has right now, survivability is increased like 1,000-fold. So because of a variety of reasons, the encounters have become a lot more manageable. Remember that we are still on the first floor, or the second floor maybe. HP increase, stamina increase, very important. Did his knife skill increase? Nope. Floor number, yeah, okay, it was just the first floor. Holy crap, the first floor took that long. Oh my god, a sign of things to come. Oh, new enemies! We got the Lamia Matriarch and a Dark Magician who is using single target spells. 121, okay, never mind. 121 is, we can deal with that. But yeah, we get Dark Magicians, which are also falling under that category. I'm quite sure they'll have a lot of HP, but let's just go with the same strategy as the Chimera Brains. We'll systematically curse them. Fuck you, Dark Magician! Cursing doesn't completely neutralize them, but it does half whatever damage they're doing. So it makes them twice as much manageable. Of course, they are also going to be wasting their turns, sometimes using status spells. So we appreciate that. Pretty straightforward. So far, pretty straightforward. All we needed to do, pretty much the only grind we needed to do, like literally needed. I have preemptively suggested that we do need to grind HP. So that is just something that happened as a byproduct of the need to grind thing, which was evasion. As soon as we entered this dungeon, we found that holy crap, enemies are doing way too much damage with their physical hits. So we grinded a bit of evasion and HP on the side, and now they have become much more manageable simply because Blizzard? How much damage is this gonna do? Ow! Okay, Lamia Matriarch is also a problem. In fact, she's a bigger problem than the damn Dark Magicians. Oh my god. Actually, I take that back. The Dark Magicians are a bigger problem because these bastards are spamming spells and irritating the crap out of me. At least the Lamia Matriarch is mostly focusing on physical hits, and every now and then she'll bust out Blizzard 13, which does 300 damage. Ouch! Are you guys done? Jesus Christ. I guess I found yet another problem with the solo challenge, unless you're Min Woo and you're just destroying everything, is that you have to tolerate multiple turns listening to these idiots. Finally, she's dead. How much HP do these guys have? 980. Okay, they have less than 900. Nice. At least they are squishy, as magicians should be. In the base game, you have an enemy called Wizard who has a ridiculous amount of defense. He has 540 HP. At the stage when you actually encounter him, you can't one-shot him, even with the best weapons you've got. It's wow. That was like shocking. But then in the base game, there are certain encounters which are just troll encounters. You're supposed to die to them. Although it's quite an accomplishment if you don't. Nice. Catclaw doing good damage, although must be noted. Ether, Thunder, Berserk, Scourge. Actually, the Ether is kinda appreciated. Scourge, I learn it just for shits and giggles, but is anybody actually weak to Scourge? Poison Elemental. Alright. Next battle I need to drink an ether. Should we check out those things in the bestiary just in case they have a weakness? Dark Magician probably has no weakness. Nope. Lamia Matriarch probably has no weakness. She can also drop a ribbon. She can also drop an elixir. She can also drop a thunder spear. I would like that. Actually, I think the Catclaw is stronger than the thunder spear, so never mind. Weakness none. Yeah, we're getting into the realm of no weaknesses. Wish more enemies had elemental weaknesses so I could grind Scott's levels for some of his black magic, but it looks like this is going to be a physical based Scott only. We have to learn some Lamia Matriarchs. Let's go the normal route like we would with the Chimera Brain. We're gonna get punched in the face, yep. As is everybody. That's like everybody's weakness. Where the hell is the Flame Lance? No, I mean the Ancient Sword. So far, nobody has had Dispel. If a monster had Dispel, they would be able to dispel my status resistances, and if they consequently started spamming any status spells, that would make them unarguably the most dangerous enemies to deal with. But so far we have not heard anything about Dispel. What do we do about Dispel? Actually, I don't have a solution right now. I'm very specifically thinking of Chaos Riders. Chaos Riders are, I would say, out of the realm of possibility right now. I couldn't beat them in a casual run. Forget about a challenge run. Chaos Riders are just they are they are they are more difficult than the final boss. So screw them. They also have single target drain 16. Single target drain 16 will do like 500, 600 damage. And if you run into 4 Chaos Riders, that's GG. GG Chaos Riders, that is. Scott's gonna join his other buddies in re-dying, considering that they're already dead. You know what would have been nice? Considering that these guys are dead, shouldn't they technically be undead or Thunder Spear? Wait, didn't I just say the cat claw is actually better than a Thunder Spear? But as long as I'm using the Flame Lance, might as well use a Thunder Spear. 92, hell yeah. I forgot to switch. Because I really want to catch on to like 20 minutes because I'm gonna blink an ancient sword. How the hell did you evade their drain 16s? Also, are you off the phone for good or just a kind of a break right now? They didn't roll it. They didn't roll it for 20 minutes? Oh man, you're the luckiest person on earth. Off the phone for now. Okay, cool. Thunder Spear, Lamia Matriarchs, they can drop. What can they drop? Elixir Ribbon, I don't really care about the ribbon, obviously, now that I've already got one. Elixir is always nice, considering that. Crap! I should have bought some elixirs. Because how the hell am I going to heal when the final boss does 2400 damage? Actually, I literally did have cash to buy elixirs. Yeah, so what am I thinking about? I'd say it's considering what strategy I've come up with against these kind of enemies right now, it was a massive mercy on the part of Soul of Rebirth to give us an ancient sword right off the bat. Yeah, massive mercy. If I didn't have the ancient sword, this would at least be twice as difficult dealing with these monsters. The ancient will facilitate low level runs. I don't really care about low level runs. I don't really care about facilitating challenge runs. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the aim of a designer is to make sure that a casual run is as smooth as possible. It provides the right amount of difficulty for a player, but at the same time it provides the right amount of challenge as well. And I think Soul of Rebirth specifically, I would say it's more on the challenging side, definitely more on the challenging side. If you have good handles on mechanics, yeah, you put it perfectly what I wanted to explain right now. It's I would say almost the perfect balance. For a casual run, of course, it's magnitudes more difficult for a challenge run, which is expected. It's expected, totally expected. Well, like this is not like base game where even challenge runs are relatively simple as long as you do graduate level class with FF2. Well said. That's fair. Especially for anyone that enjoyed the base game and mostly did it without grinding, and if they did manage to figure out the mechanics by themselves and they were interested in the mechanics, they found the game to be enjoyable, then yeah, I think Soul of Rebirth is a natural progression for them. They would definitely find it challenging, but am I going the right way? Definitely find it challenging, but also find it very enjoyable. Okay, I'm kinda lost. Since this is mirrored Pandemonium, I believe if... whatever, let's just keep exploring. So far, so far. Oh shit! It is. It is. We only have one of them. Chaos Riders. These guys are the next level of enemies that we are gonna have to deal with, and any encounter with a Chaos Rider I'm gonna treat as a final boss. Yeah, we're going so likely too hard. Yeah, agree. How hideously awful they are. Yeah, the sadistic part of you, and me as well. First and foremost, very important, we are going to treat. Well, we don't really have a specific strategy, so we're going to do the same thing that we are going to do again that we do against your regular magic encounters. The really was so confused. Not all enemies replace creep cursor. Chaos Riders, single-handedly responsible for for FF2 players' rage quits. Thing is, hardly anyone tries Soul of Rebirth after they've gone through the base game, which is a shame. But hey, this is not a popular game. What can you do? But yeah, regarding a challenge run, it's definitely as difficult as. In fact, this is actually much more difficult than I initially assumed that would be. But I guess that is to compensate for how much easier it was when we just had Min Woo. I mean, god damn it, man! You thought Min Woo was good, and then you come to Soul of Rebirth, and your admiration for him just has to take that extra level. It's just, I just can't believe this. Just can't believe how good that guy turned out to be. You thought Min Woo was good in the base game? Try Soul of Genji Gloves. Screw that. Min Woo, please no. That is 100% true. For a change, that is 100% true. Holy crap. Okay, Orocat. Do we have anything to be scared of these guys? I don't think so. So let's just take it easy. We got an easy encounter for a change on this floor. No Chaos Riders. But yeah, this started off really brutal, and as soon as we entered Pandemonium as well, it was pretty brutal. But after a little bit of grinding, things have definitely managed to. I think things are much more manageable, except for Chaos Riders, of course. I mean, can't even just blanket say Chaos Riders, because I was able to deal with one Chaos Rider. I might even be able to deal with two Chaos Riders, but anything more than that, I'm very skeptical about. Oh shit, I'm constantly forgetting to grind HP. Man, I hope I don't pay for this big time. What the hell? Isn't there supposed to be something here? Oh, that's... I think it's Marlboro Menace. So traditionally Marlboros don't have magic, so don't think we have anything to be worried about in this fight. Let's just do all our preparations for the next battle. But yeah, Soul of Rebirth, especially for a challenge run, in terms of design, maybe specifically for this challenge run where I am going to have to use physical attacks significantly, I'm going to have to use a lot of physical attacks. That ancient sword is an absolute blessing. Absolute blessing. And that is something that given the normal philosophy of Soul of Rebirth with their Chaos Riders and literal hell, you would say that has to be an act of kindness. And almost in a perverse way, in order to compensate for giving you the ancient sword, they have beefed up these enemies to ridiculous extents. You can't really say ridiculous. But I mean, as soon as I entered Pandemonium, I was very unpleasantly surprised by how little damage Scott was doing, given that he had level 8 in what's that? Spear. Oops. Level 8 in Spear, and he had the Flame Lance. Okay, Flame Lance is not as a... What the hell? How can Scott miss himself? Okay. That's because he's got too much evasion. Got it. I need to keep grinding. Do I need to keep grinding HP? I've got 2600 HP. No, I don't need to keep grinding HP. I don't want to trivialize this. All I wanted was 2500 HP in order to see how the final boss would go. Because guaranteed, less than 2500 HP is going to kill me. That is guaranteed. But anything over 2500 HP, we shall see how it goes. And then grind accordingly. So no more unnecessary grinding of HP. All I'm going to focus on is getting... Oh god, one more. Okay, this was a preemptive. Should be easy. One Chaos Rider only. We've already seen that we can deal with this guy. So yeah, Chaos Riders are the next level of monsters. They also have Dispel. They have Dispel and they have a bunch of status resistance or status spells. Sure, no problem. I kind of realized that when you stop... Actually, well, I'm gonna say it now. I kind of realized that when you stop responding, so not a problem at all. Where is the Thunderlands? So what we need to focus on is wait a minute. If these guys are just like Death Riders, they should be weak to fire. 62 damage. I think they actually resist fire. Look at that. Dispel, and we don't have enough magic defense to actually resist that. So what Dispel does is, henceforth, if they use a spell like Stun or Death, it's going to hit. That's how nasty they are. That's the next level of nasty. But so far, we've been pretty lucky that we not got more Chaos Riders, and that luck ends here. I don't think I'm going to survive this fight. Why did I have to... Why the fuck did I open my mouth? As long as they're using status spells... Oh god, look at that. Dispel for 4... not Dispel. Drain for 400 damage. As long as they don't spam Drain, and as long as they don't use Dispel, Dispel, I'm relatively safe. I just need to do only 200. Yeah, look at that. Half damage from Drain. Very, very helpful. That ancient sword, man, I was talking about the ancient sword once, wasn't I? That, I think, single-handedly, that ancient sword is gonna save my ass. But yeah, as long as they don't use Dispel, we have a chance. And they use Dispel. I am screwed. Let's see. Let's see what we can make of this fight. Now that they have used Dispel, all of their status attacks are going to hit. Because remember, it's Dispel 16. Holy crap. Dispel 16. That's not a joke. Slow. Even slow is going to land, isn't it? Missed. Okay. That's lucky. So maybe I still have immunity to slow. Warp. Ah, this might get me. Missed. Okay. Nice. I don't know what that dispel, but it's random. Well, not completely random, but kind of random. Oh shit, they have Osmos! Well, it's not as if I'm using any spells anyway. So, thanks for that Osmos, assholes. That's just gonna get me an MP up. These bastards have Drain, Osmos, holy crap. So, in a solo challenge run, a little bit of luck either way, swinging this way or that, can pretty much destroy. Oh look! Oh shit, thank God Scott bounced out of confusion. That last dispelled my immunity to confusion status. Whew, managed to survive this. Like, wow. I mean, you would not know how close this was. Dragon armor. Nope, I've got the ribbon, so ribbon is like better than pretty much anything. I'm just getting excited for no good reason because dragon armor is quite rare. Okay. I was forced to use a ether outside battle there. Of course, it didn't even gain MP. Damn it, Scott! Like I said, 50%. Fucking RNG. Oh, come on! Ambushed by 3 Death Riders, Chaos Riders. I think this game is not gonna let me go today without a wipe, without a significant wipe. Okay, once again, as long as there's no dispel, we are kind of safe. So let's just see how lucky we can get. And it's all going to boil down to luck, unfortunately. I mean, I would have to say that dispel is not very frequently used, but once again they use it just as I was going to mention it. Great job, guys, great job. And I'm screwed. Slow. They have successfully managed to cast slow as well, and now I'm confused. This is going to be rip. Probably warp is going to kill me as well. Missed, okay. What can I do to counter slow? Nothing. Ancient sword. Let's just try to keep inflicting curse if possible. Damn it, that slow has pretty much negated any chance I have of winning this fight. I cannot counteract slow with haste. Red mages are not allowed to use haste in my opinion. And the way slow works in this is it just comes... Oh, great. Yeah, thank you for putting me out of my misery. Finally stoned, and I think that's where I'm going to end this because I find myself coughing more and more frequently right now, which means my throat has probably had enough for today. But productive stream, happy with my progress. Although I was expecting to reach the Wild Rose, not to be, simply because some of the encounters are pretty brutal. But we do have a way around it. Chaos Riders, no, not gonna condone Chaos Riders. Not gonna feel guilty about being beaten by them, especially when it was an ambush from three of them. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and I will see you next time.